I'm really pleasure to be here now on behalf of DT. I hope, thank you that you're a little bit flexible because I have two slides more than these two slides. Full automation, I give you a short idea where we are coming from and why is that so important for DT. Maybe you remember on the last event, it was then Asha Ashuri, my boss, presented the ideas of full automation, vision of DT, presented last year, as I said. And maybe you remember as well, it was written later on in the light reading report about his words, brutal automation, he mentioned that. And that gives you an indication that why that is really important issue for DT. And make a link to Tim's presentation from his talk, because I was really happy to see that not only cost reduction is one major driver for the operations, it's more or less service introduction to make it more flexible, and that is also a topic for DT. It's not cost reduction on this kind of stuff. Normally, if you are introducing new technology, then we are talking always about cost reduction. That's the first point in time which I am aware of, which we are not talking about cost reduction. We're really talking about service introduction. The customer is in the focus of a supplier, and which surprise. But by the end of the day, the customer will pay our salary and will give an indication about the business success of a company. But this gives you you see that it's not a new for DT. As I said, we are working on the topic since 2016, more or less, as we discussed it internally, and then we had this workshop in 2016 in December, and that was the basis for this ISG, which we are doing today. Looking forward, I make a link to my colleague Axel Klauberg. He will give a keynote this week, I think it's on Wednesday, and he will talk about cloud native activities and about the telco view about the reality in 2018. I really highly recommend to join this talk. I know the talk, and it's a little bit not only optimistic, also some critical thoughts in that. And that is also a topic for DT. We are looking really for cloud-native solutions. And that should be not only a discussion, it should be bring to reality, that we have technology based on cloud-native in order to achieve automation. Challenges, I think you mentioned it, is about orchestration, automation, network, and security. We have talked about network security also this morning. Diego mentioned it, Tim mentioned it. It is a hot topic. We have to consider that security will be one key aspect to consider if you're talking about automation. Now coming to our activities in ZSM, we are looking about end-to-end cross-domain management. That is a topic which we have to consider. That's what we are focusing on as well. There is one item which we like to push forward in ZSM on behalf of DT, because we are thinking we have too many silos in our network, and we have to find a solution which gives us if we can automate cross-domain for example, service introduction, because the service is not longer based on a single technology. It will be based on a couple of different technologies or different solutions, not only from a single vendor. If you're looking forward about open source solution, of course, then we have different software pieces to consider to deploy a new service. And then the next topic is also one topic which we are focusing on is on the end-to-end service configuration management process. That is what we like to achieve at first with the in-zero touch to automate our configuration management process across domains in the network, because it gives us more flexibility to manage our networks as it is today. I think one pain point of the operator is really that we have too many different technologies to operate, to manage, And it is really, really, really important that we find a solution for that one. And we are saying the configuration management process is one of the first processes we had to focus on in zero touch, for example. To conclude, I think you see that we have a story in DT. We are following this story consequently right since the last two years, at least the last 2 years, and we have a clear target to achieve automation, but this is one of the key success points for the company. Yeah, well, I'm 30 minutes over time. I take your time. Thank you for that.